a faith like Jacob's. We will be learning from Hebrews 11:21 today, and we will look at the kind of faith that this Old Testament hero had. Through our Devo series this month, we've learned that faith, according to Hebrews 11, means trusting God to work in unseen ways, even when we do not completely understand what is happening. This includes remembering that God's perspective is eternal, and so we can look beyond our own earthly lives as part of that faith. Abraham did this when he obeyed God even when he was given a confusing and challenging command. Isaac demonstrated this by passing along God's promises and blessing to his children. Jacob, for his part, continued this pattern by trusting God, by looking to the future. Hebrews 11:21 says, "By faith Jacob, when he was dying, blessed each of Joseph's sons and worshipped as he leaned on the top of his staff." Jacob led a rather carnal or mediocre life, yet his faith could also look beyond death. And he blessed each of his sons, his grandchildren. Jacob had to lean on the top of his staff because I think he was given a limp many years before when he wrestled with God at Peniel, as recorded in Genesis chapter 32. And as he leaned on his staff, he remembered that God was great, and that God held his future, and that God held the future of his descendants. Therefore, he worshipped, demonstrating his faith, demonstrating his dependence on God. Dependence on God and faith in God and trusting God for the things that he won't be even seeing after his life on earth. You see, Jacob was not perfect. He committed many mistakes and many blunders. But you see, it wasn't so much about who he is and what he has done, because he is imperfect. But the one in whom he puts his faith in, was perfect and faithful. Jacob leaned on his staff and worshiped God, not because of his accomplishments, but because of the faithfulness and greatness of God. We have to realize that it's not so much of our faith and our obedience, but more of who we are obeying and in whom we are putting our faith in. For Jacob, it was knowing that God is faithful and he will fulfill his promises even when he was no longer here on earth, even when he's no longer there to witness it. And so, Jacob blessed his children, his grandchildren. This is Jacob's faith, trusting God beyond himself and beyond his experience. For us today, do we have that kind of faith that trusts God to fulfill his promises beyond ourselves and beyond our earthly lives? May we have a faith like Jacob's.